destroy ODM.
Yes, he told me.
But it is the same party he wants to work with now. How does that make sense?
He doesn't want to work with ODM. He has destroyed ODM. ODM is a pale shadow of his former self. What will happen, and you tell, that is ODM's last supper, and I hear Ruto wants to attend. Let me be very candid with the ODM followers. That is Raila's legacy. Please don't allow William Ruto to destroy ODM. Because I have been in this space before. The only way a region can protect its interests in a government is through a strong political party. My people from the mountain, we are in the terrible situation we are in, I included, because we went to join Ruto without our own political party. And he shortchanged us, turned against us, and can do whatever he wants. If ODM agrees to be swallowed by William Ruto, the people of that region will be at his mercy. And he'll come to cry the way we are crying. So it's up to them. And if they must join William Ruto, because we cannot stop them. Yeah? If they must stop him, if they must work with him, I'll give them a few tips. Because it's important that I do so. And if they listen to me, it can help them. If they ignore it, it doesn't matter. But at least I'll have spoken, and it will be on record. If I had listened to President Uhuru Kenyatta, when he told us that William Ruto cannot be a good president and it's not good for the country, we will not be in the predicament we are in.
With respect, what's your language, Mheshimiwa?
Yeah?
What's your language, Mheshimiwa?
No, I'm just saying.
It's national TV.
I'm just saying we will not be where we are. We will not be where we are. And the mistake we made was to join William Ruto in his party. Since that we have learned and formed our own party. And we cannot be swallowed or merged with anybody. We'll have to work, whoever wants to have a coalition with us. Our party, the DCP, will have a coalition intact without being swallowed by anybody. So my advice to ODM.
Katia ODM shauri, hii ni chama ambacho kimekuwa katika siasa ya Kenya kwa muda wa miaka 20. DCP is hardly 2 years.
I'm talking as regards Gachagua. It may have been 20 years. I may be nobody, but I cannot be denied a chance to give advice. I helped him to be president with my people. He shortchanged all of us. So I have something that I know that I can share, because I can see ODM is being induced to work with William Ruto. I have some experience that can be useful. Unless you don't want to.
Kwa sababu hamkuwa na chama cha kisiasa. Kumaanisha chama cha DCP ni cha watu wa mlima pekee.
Hapana.
Tukiangalia vyanzo vya sheria.
Chama yetu ni ya kitaifa. We won a by-election in Kisa East, in Quisero, that is Kakamega. We won a seat in Narok Township, that is Narok in Rift Valley. We won a seat in Kariobangi North, which is cosmopolitan. But every community has a political home. You know, the Luo Nation, their political home is ODM with other Kenyans. The mountain people, their political home is DCP with other Kenyans. The Kalenjin, their home is UDA with other Kenyans. So every community has a home politically, and that is the way it should be, and it must be that way. But I'm saying, what ODM should do, my honest advice, because I can see it being destroyed, and I can see them along the way crying the way the mountain is crying. One, ODM is owed 12 billion through the political parties fund. If William Ruto is serious that he wants ODM to stand as a political party, John Badi is the CS National Treasury. They should reduce, ODM should demand 12 billion shillings owed to ODM to be released to ODM, so that financially they are independent and they can chart their own course. Number two, the president has been to Nyanza and made many promises. He has one budget to go, 2026-2027 financial year. Before the elections and after, he made a lot of promises to the mountain people. Mau Mau roads, this, that. Nothing has been done for 4 years. What ODM must make as reducible minimum? All those projects he has announced, they must demand that money be reflected in this last budget. Because if there is no money in the last budget, yeah, if there is no money in the last budget. That is just a campaign gimmick.
Asante. Umesema...
Listen, let me say a few things I want to say. That money should be reflected in the budget. And it should not be a token. If the project is 1 billion, you can't put 50 million in budget for the next financial year and say the project is funded. The money must be put in the budget. Number three, whatever relationship, whatever agreement that they want with William Ruto, let them learn from me. It must be made public. If they are being promised that they will be given the deputy president, it must be announced publicly. Whatever they are being promised, there should be a public pronouncement. Because the mistake I made, we did some things under the table in writing, even Musali with him, they will not be honored unless he makes a public pronouncement. And they should demand early enough so that they have time to look elsewhere in case they are not satisfied with what they are agreeing with him. Number four, and the most important, to make sure that ODM stands. William Ruto had no footage in Nyanza. He had no footage in Coast. He had no footage in Northeastern. He had no footage in Western. If ODM enters in agreement with William Ruto, they must demand that those areas are zoned for ODM so that they have enough members of parliament to be able to go into government with. But if they open up their strongholds to William Ruto and UDA that has no presence in those areas, they will be swallowed. And that is what is happening. Once those things are done, then if they want to enter into a deal with him, they are safe. And I'm just sharing this because, in my community they say, if you are bitten by a black snake, when you see a rope, you run away. A rope that looks like a snake. And I'm just saying, because I can see what is happening, I can see the same deception. The time he is spending in Nyanza, every day he is there, he spent more time, he was 9 years in the mountain. Nowadays he doesn't come. The same script. He was coming to the mountain, promising us goodies, promising us heaven, promising us all manner of things until we elected him. I can see the same script going on. And I have a responsibility as a leader in this country to tell the people of Nyanza, please, I've been through this.
Yeah.
My people have been through this. We are all crying because we were deceived. We were conned. I can see another con game going on. I can see deception going on. Please be aware.
Okay.
And if you don't heed and it happens, please never say Rigiji never told us.
Wacha nikurudishe nyuma kidogo, Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais wa kitambo. Hapo awali ulisema huna shida na hii jamii. Unavyozungumza katika ile structure ya uongozi wa DCP, je, kuna yoyote yule ambaye anatoka katika eneo la Nyanza? Swali la pili, kuna wakati ulisema the position ya PS Interior na CS Finance ilikuwa a reserve of the mountaineers.
Yes.
Na bado unatuambia unatupenda?
No, watu
wa Nyanza.
My friend, one, Mable Owino, the Deputy Secretary General in charge of strategy, is a Luo girl from Kisumu, very talented young woman, and she's working with me. When I was appointed Deputy President, my Chief of Staff was George Makeboy from the Luo Nation, a great administrator.
Lakini aliondolewa baadaye akapelekwa mahali.
Ruto alimtoa akampeleka
Djibouti.
Djibouti, some funny somewhere. Yeah, I loved the guy, and when Ruto found my office was functioning well and he wanted to bring me down, one of the strategies he did to start undermining me was to remove George McAvoy. He's a man I had brought to my office. I have total respect for the community and their professionalism. There's something you asked me. You said,
CS Treasury.
CS Treasury, yes, it's true. Just the way ODM is saying Deputy President is irreducible minimum. Before we elected William Ruto, we had some demands and we agreed. And those are positions we negotiated. We had negotiated for National Treasury, CS, for CS Interior, for CS Agriculture. That is the way negotiations are done. And I was just saying, what we negotiated, you cannot take away. It does not mean that I have a problem with whoever I was giving. I was just saying, what we have negotiated, give it to me. Just the way we are saying now, I have heard Governor Mombasa saying Deputy President is a reducible minimum. If they agree that they are given Deputy President, if they are shortchanged, they must complain. That's the way these negotiations go. So myself, I was quite right in saying, whatever we agreed, we delivered. You had said, give me your votes, I'll give you this. We give you our votes, and what we gave you are taking away, I'm saying is wrong.
Ukiangalia hiyo ratiba ya wale mawaziri ambao katika baraza la mawaziri ya Rais Ruto, kuna baadhi watu ambao ni wanane kutoka eneo la Mlima Kenya.
Yes.
Does it bother you? Does it worry you?
Not at all.
In terms of representation in the cabinet?
I negotiated for the mountain in exchange of votes. ODM is demanding 50%. Is there anything wrong? You demand, you know, my friend.
This is where the problem is.
My brother Trevor, we had a political negotiation. William Ruto wanted votes from the mountain, 4 million votes. We gave it to him. And we say, in exchange, this is what we want. That's the way politics are done. And that's why I'm saying ODM cannot agree to dissolve. Because if they dissolve, how will they negotiate with William Ruto?
They've not had a conversation of dissolving, but I'm asking you, because you're a leader of the opposition now, and if you have a negotiation with ODM, will you then offer them the 8 slots and the 15 PS?
My friend, the dynamics of those negotiations will dictate what will happen then. We are not yet there. Let's not cross the bridge before we get there. Negotiations are informed by the parameters that exist at that time. William Ruto had been rejected by all other Kenyans except the mountain. He was desperate for the mountain vote. So Western rejected him. Nairobi rejected him. Nobody else was willing to back him. The mountain was the only stupid region that could not see through him. We were conned, and we have accepted our mistake, and we are going to correct it. But since we are the only ones who are available to support him, we demanded as much as we could, because that's the nature of negotiations. But now, if we are in a coalition like now, we are with so many other people, I don't think we can demand that much, because whoever we are with, we are many of us, you know. But that time, other than the mountain, nobody else trusted William Ruto. They knew him, and they knew whom he is.
Do you understand
history is repeating itself. As we speak today, only that region seems to believe William Ruto can be anything. And that is why they are demanding 50%. And I think they are quite right, because the mountain doesn't want him. Coast doesn't want him. Everybody doesn't want him. So the people of ODM in Nyanza are saying, well, since nobody wants you, can you give us 50%?
Do you understand why people are a bit shy to deal with you? Because of the strong language that you use. Even right now, when we speak about a conversation.
Say you are shy dealing with me.
You have just
Don't talk about other people.
You've just said the Mount Kenya region are the only people who are stupid enough. Yes. That tagging is where the problem is.
No, we were
labeling communities.
I have said that is a feeling in my community, that we were conned, and we did not see it through the con. We were conned, and we have accepted. And that is a mess, is a language everywhere. We were duped into electing somebody who cannot lead, a businessman who has, reaped the country, who has taken over all the businesses in the country, who has ordered abductions and extrajudicial killings, who has spoiled relationship with other countries. We were duped. And when people are duped, how do you describe them? And I have said myself, I was stupid. I have accepted. I was stupid enough not to see through William Ruto. And that's why I'm saying I don't want anybody else to be conned. I don't want anybody else to be duped. I have a responsibility as a Kenyan leader to tell other people whom I can see they are being conned. You guys, you are being conned. I have been through this with my people. We were conned. And if I don't tell you, because myself, I feel terrible, because Uhuru Kenyatta had warned me and our people, and we did not listen. And we can therefore not blame Uhuru Kenyatta, because he had told us, this man is not fit to lead. This man will make sure there is no country. The same has come to pass in Uhuru Kenyatta's lifetime. I don't want any other community to fall into the same trap when I'm alive and when I have a mouth to tell them. And that's why I'm telling the people of Luo Nyanza, hey, be careful. And if you must go to bed with this man, can you demand the following?
Will you approach ODM and have a conversation around coalitions with them? Because Wiper has given that
coalition,
but DCP has
coalition making is a continuous process. We are waiting to see what happens after Ruto breaks down ODM and what remains and whom we can deal with.
How will he break it down? Because there's been no conversation about dissolving ODM.
Already,
it's a conversation for a coalition, a broad-based government.
Junet, Wanga, they have sold ODM to Ruto. It was sold in Kirigori.
There's no evidence.
Did they say only ODM? And what is the evidence to that effect?
I've just told you.
Waliuza chama kwa pesa ngapi?
We know these things, my
if
friend. We have been around for a long time.
No, explain this to us.
When Rigiji tells you your wife is pregnant, go and buy diapers.
Let's explain this to us, Mheshimiwa. So you are working currently with DAPK and Wiper and everybody else. Have you bought them?
No, I've not.
So why is it that when UDA is working with ODM, then they've been bought?
You see, they have been bought. That is why they want to kick out Sifuna, the Secretary General of the party.
No, let's talk about
That is why. No, listen,
so why?
You asking me why.
Yeah, have you bought this
No,
Wiper
I've not
and
bought
DAPK?
anybody. They don't
So why is building the other coalition between ODM and UDA a matter of one buying the other and not coalition building?
Because the people who sold ODM don't want a Sifuna. Because Sifuna has refused to sell ODM to William Ruto. That's why they have called an NDC to kick him out. And that will be the death of ODM. And that's what Ruto wants. He wants to kill ODM. He told me myself that I'll kill this ODM. I cannot allow
Again,
such
that
a
is
strong
hearsay. So we cannot verify that statement because that was a conversation
Go and ask him
between
when
the
you
two of you. How much was ODM bought for?
I don't know the figure, but a deposit
So how then
has
do you
been
know
paid.
it was bought?
A deposit has been paid.
How
much?
much deposit?
What?
How much is the deposit?
That is a story for another day.
No.
So you're the one making the allegations.
I'll go and find out also.
You're the one making the allegations.
Ukasema sisi kazi yetu ni labda kujua zaidi.
Pia nyinyi mfanye kazi kidogo, mimi nimepatia nyinyi tip, nyinyi mfanye hiyo ingine. You are also investigative journalists. Go and find out the figure. Okay. And let me tell you what happened. My brother, just open up your eyes. I've done oral literature. I studied Luo customs. Death and burial is a very strong and emotive issue in the Luo nation. Okay? Raila Odinga dies. Before his body arrives in Kenya, ODM has changed hands. In an African setup, and among the Luo have studied oral literature, you don't inherit a man before he's buried. ODM, Raila was the leader of ODM. He dies. A team is sent to go and bring his body. Junaid Mohammed conveniently becomes sick. He doesn't go to collect the body. Suluhu gets sick, conveniently doesn't go to collect the body. Oburu, conveniently, the brother doesn't go to collect the body. Before the body arrives, National Executive Council is convened. And the leadership of ODM changes hands. Raila Odinga is inherited before his body arrives in the country and before he is buried. It has never happened in an African custom. ODM had already been sold, and the coup was done even before his body arrived in this country. Yeah? And that is why they want to kick out Sifuna, because Sifuna cannot agree to that scheme.
The statements of the ODM being sold is the one thing you keep referring to, but you can't tell us how much.
Why should we believe
I've asked you on that conversation?
And
you keep referring to
Sifuna.
That is one person.
Doesn't it
that is just a fallout with one
person. No, you are low. Doesn't it bother you? That a man is inherited before he is buried.
I'm not the one answering the questions. You're the one answering the questions.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing a question.
You're the one answering the questions.
For your own mind.
Why would you say it's been bought?
But why don't you? Why are you not asking me to explain?
We're asking you to explain how much was it bought for? And you're not the same question. Have you bought Wiper and DAPK, the ones you're working with?
I don't know why you want to bring Wiper and DAPK.
Because it's a coalition. You're the one who's told us you've been in politics for long. So we're trying to understand.
I don't know why you want to play advocate for William Ruto. Aren't you bothered as a Luo that ODM is getting finished? You should be bothered. That is your vehicle. That is a vehicle that Raila Odinga developed for the community.
Is it not giving you an opportunity as DCP maybe to be solid and work with?
To do what?
To work with
the ODM.
I am saying.
And even accommodate.
I am willing to work with like-minded Kenyans, like-minded political parties. But I am saying We are still waiting. We are observing the political space. The destruction of ODM is imminent. Whatever little will be left or whatever will go away, we'll see whom we can work with. The Wanga, Junet, Oburu wing will go with William Ruto. Whatever else remains, because I've seen Akina Sifuna, Akina Babu, Akina Orengo, they are steadfast that they don't want to destroy Laila's legacy. They want multi-party democracy to work. They want a strong political party. The Akina Orengo are very clear that you cannot finish ODM.
Is that the wing of ODM you want to work?
I am listening. I'm listening.
Are you working with?
I am listening to Orengo. I'm listening to Babu. I'm listening to Sifuna, and I agree with him that we need good, strong political parties for Kenya's democracy. I'm in agreement with them.
So are you likely to work together?
Yeah. Why not?
Have you had a conversation of working together?
Not yet, but why not? Politics, as I told you, is dynamic. We can work together.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are you willing to have a conversation with Oburu Oginga?
I have no problem. I can work with anybody.
Okay.
I can work with anybody who wants to work with us. We have no. He's bad for the country. He's destroyed the Kenyan nation. We had very good education system bequeathed to us by Mwai Kibaki. Free primary education. He has destroyed it. We had day secondary school bequeathed to us by Uhuru Kenyatta. He has destroyed it. We had Leader Mama destroyed. He has sold public assets. Yeah. Safaricom, Kenya Pipeline, JKIA.
But all these are being done by the approval.
We have a shell of a country.
But
are being done by the approval of the National Assembly.
No.
Which is an entity given that mandate to do so.
There is no approval. And by the way, the National Assembly is also captured. Yeah, it's not a house that now represents the people of Kenya anymore. It's a captured house.
Including MPs who are allied to you, you say are captured?
Mine are the minority. The majority have the way.
When did this Damascus moment for you appear? When you now noticed that the person described as your brother is running the country down?
1 year down the line after
you were impeached?
1 year down the line after we came to office. 1 year we had problems.
But you never said anything.
I said it
that year.
I said it internally.
You only talked about this after you.
I said it internally, but when I was still in office, I said not.
Why didn't you resign?
Why should I? I was not elected by William Ruto. I heard him saying that he gave me an opportunity. He didn't give me an opportunity. I was given an opportunity to lead by the people of Kenya. The person he has given an opportunity is Kindiki. I was elected by the people of Kenya, not William Ruto.
When you were friends, in fact, I'm quoting you again, you had said that President William Ruto, you were not to be known if it wasn't for President William Ruto. In fact, at the time, you were having a camaraderie with him, saying that he's been holding the hands of other leaders, including yourself. Why has that changed now?
That was then. But that does not make me daft. Because I was friendly with William Ruto, I have no brain. The minute I started seeing the country is headed in the wrong direction, I told him no. When I was in office, my friend, if you remember, I called a press conference in Mombasa on 26th of June about abductions and extrajudicial killing and told him off. I said, Mr. President, don't call our kids criminals. These are our sons and daughters. I stood with the Gen Zs when I was in office.
At that point, there was already a conversation about your impeachment.
But don't say, no, that was June. Impeachment came in October. I didn't speak when I left office. When he sabotaged the war on drugs, on the fight against drugs and alcohol abuse, in Nyandarua, I told him on his face, why is your CS Interior and PS Interior sabotaging the war on alcohol? I heard him saying that I was taking money from cartel.
They said you are extortionist.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants to say. If that was true, it should have been one of the charges of the impeachment. It wasn't. That is an afterthought. After I have really put him to task and I have created a huge one-term movement in the country that is sending him home. The reality of one term has just sunk to him. I have told you, I told him publicly, don't sabotage the war on drugs and alcohol when I was in office. I did not start telling him off when I left office. And one of the reasons why he had to get rid of me is because I was opposing him from within the cabinet. When he brought the finance bill, 2024, I was the only lone voice in the cabinet to say, no, this is not acceptable to the people of Kenya, and the people of Kenya will have a problem with it, and we shall have an egg on our face. And it came to pass. I went back to the cabinet, I said, Mr. President, I told you, after the Gen Zs forced him to back down, I said, I told you, you did not want to listen to me. I told you this thing cannot be accepted by the people of Kenya. So this argument that I only spoke after I left office is a fallacy. It's not true. I spoke from inside, and that is what precipitated my removal, because I was bringing oversight and sense, and starting with the people of Kenya from within government. And by the way, that is what the framework. and who can check a rogue president from within government. That was the intention of the framers of the 2010 Constitution. They did not expect a robot, an appointed deputy president like the one we have, who cannot say no to the president because he's his appointee. The framers of the 2010 Constitution were both elected.
But
and since not both of them can go wrong at the same time, if one of them goes wrong, the other one can check him.
Hiyo ilikuwa kazi ya bunge. Tuko na makamati mbalimbali za bunge kuangalia jinsi executive inavyotenda kazi yake, mheshimiwa. Are you trying to rewrite what the Constitution says in terms of its spirit and letter?
I am saying there is something called the letter and the spirit of the law. The letter is what is written. The spirit is the intention. Why did the framers of the Constitution want two elected people, one president and a deputy? He is somebody's appointee. There is nothing he can say. Everything is yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
You
but
had
myself,
said,
because
you
I was
had
elected,
said in one of the political meetings when you were still in good terms with the president that wewe ni mtu wake wa mkono, wewe ni Mr. Yes sir.
I say yes on good things. I was prepared to be yes sir on what is true, what is good, what is constitutional, what is within the law. I had no problem. And for the good things that we were doing, I was supporting him 100%. But when he started abductions, extrajudicial killings, I said no.
Okay.
When he started demolitions and evictions, I said no. When he started theft of public resources, I said no. When he started misappropriation of public funds, I said no. I was prepared to be loyal, yes sir, on things that are appropriate and that improves the lives of the people of Kenya. I was more than prepared.
Thank you.
The minute I realized that what was happening is not what is supposed to happen, I said no.
Kuna wakati ulikuwa kama naibu wa rais, wakati chama cha ama coalition ya Azimio walipokuwa na maandamano, tulikuona ukiraukia mapema sana kwa ofisi yako, ukicoordinate masuala ya kudeal with mambo ya maandamano, watu waliuawa, watu wakapigwa vibaya sana, mali ikaharibika. Was this part of the script of saying yes sir to the Mr. President?
I was not in charge of security operations. The way the security architecture works in
You
this
chaired a
country,
meeting, Mr.
the way the
Shima.
security architecture works in
You
this
chaired
country.
some meeting in absence of the president.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the way the security architecture works in this country is that the president is the chairman of the National Security Council. He also appoints all the security chiefs and they report to him directly. The deputy president has no say in security operations, except if directed by the president, signs the deputy some duties. That meeting I chaired that one day on a Sunday morning. We had gone to the airport, and a crackdown on maandamano were made by the president, executed by Kindiki and Ramogi. I was a bystander. Going to the office early in the morning found some ODM MPs going to Nyanza to tell people that people were killed when I was deputy president. I was not president. I did not appoint the inspector general. I did not appoint the director of the DCI. I did not appoint Ramogi. I did not appoint Kindiki. Those were appointees
kuna
of
wakati
President Ruto.
ukasema kwenye kanda kwamba IG wa polisi wa sasa kijana kutoka kwenyu wewe ndio ulimpendekeza kwa rais.
Yes. But he's the appointing authority. You can... what happened with IG is that the president decided to sack Kenoti, who was DCI. And I didn't have a problem with it or say because he's the president. And I demanded that if Kenoti is sacked, I need a replacement from Meru because that is a position the people of Meru were enjoying. And so Kome was identified and I took part in that identification. But I don't take responsibility for his actions. The fact that I said this guy is okay, but the appointing authority is the one who made the final appointment. I made so many other recommendations which he ignored. Yes.
Okay. Let's take some feedback here. We're about to take a quick break for the highlights here, but there's quick feedback. Ashley Dan says, shame on you, Ramogi, for inviting a tribalist for an interview. How will you shake off this tag of being a tribalist?
Well, to start with, if tribalism is speaking one's language, then Ramogi station should never have existed. Why do you call me to a tribal show?
We didn't call you.
But
you
you
called
No,
us.
I'm saying why does this show exist?
You requested us to come
No,
here.
But why does it exist? Why does Ramogi exist?
You are being asked here that there's a tag for you being a tribalist.
What makes me a tribalist?
Shareholding conversation is one
But
of them. And that's a
Oburu
big
is talking about
conversation that's
shareholding.
happening.
Is he a
But let's
tribalist?
not deflect the question
No,
to
no,
other
no, no,
people.
no,
It's
no.
you who started this
Let me tell you,
conversation on shareholding.
my friend.
And people believe that you stand for the mountain more than any other reason.
Shareholding is part of the agreement between Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi, and is signed by William Ruto. Does that make him a tribalist? Shareholding is part of discussion on political negotiations, and is going on as we speak today. And there's nothing wrong with anybody saying, if we support you, this is our expectation. And that's what ODM is saying. And they are saying it so loudly. Why is that person sending you that message, not asking why Oburu and those who are asking for shareholding with Ruto are not tribalists? That tag of tribalism has been pushed by William Ruto. But when I was supporting him, he never said I'm a tribalist. When my community was supporting him, he never said I'm tribal. My community and I are not tribal. Ask me why. In the last election, we had a candidate called Mwaura. We never gave him any vote. We gave 4 million votes to William Ruto and 1.3 million votes to Raila Odinga. I had the leeway to say I cannot support William Ruto because he comes from another community.
Okay.
Then how do you call me a tribalist after supporting a Kalenjin to a man? I supported him with my people. Okay. When did he realize we are tribalists? Then he was saying, I'm a very good man, a very good mobilizer, a people-centered guy. I don't know what. He had very kind words about me.
Okay.
But the minute I and my people decided that he had betrayed us, he had shortchanged us, he had deceived us, he is not what he told us he is, he's not what we thought he was, and we changed our mind, then we became tribal.
All right, stay with us, Mheshimiwa. We have to take a quick break. Nyikwa Ramogi rokamana nyoko mkitira Ramogi TV ka ndie. Network makende gyogai mar DCP Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua gijalup jatend piny Kenya machone dala ne makaren obiro ne achiel kachiel kontiere kagi VOJ Victor Tieno Juma mar Radio Ramogi. Wakaw thuolo moro ywe machuok mondo mwinjare weche manyien madhi biro saa 3 to koduogo kendo to pod odhi medo go mbaka gi Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua menogai mar DCP gijalup jatend piny Kenya machon. Kik udhi mabor ahinya.
Are you out of data? Muthui Solutions Hub brings you amazing data deals, tunukiwa, minutes and SMS deals purchased with or without Okoa Jahazi. To get these deals, pay exact amount to till number 6964518. For more enquiries,
I want to say they are not tribal. They are very good. And it's not what you say, but what is understood. People understand their language better. So I sought to talk to the Luo nation through this medium, which between me and the Luo nation and my community, the Mount Kenya people, and a lot of false narratives and an attempt to create a bogeyman, somebody whom the Luo nation can hate for no reason. And I thought it is important that I engage the community as to what I think about the community, our relationship, the past, the present, and the future, and possible areas of cooperation. And also is my responsibility as a leader in this country, when I see a community is being taken in a certain direction that my community has been taken through before, I have a responsibility to tell them, wow, here, be careful, it can happen to you, so talk to them. Whether they agree with what you say or not, that's up to them. Whether they accept your advice or not, that's up to them. If they reject it totally, that's up to them. But once you talk to them, your heart becomes free, and your conscience is clear.
All right. You're perceived in that region that you're talking about as being primarily against the Luo nation because of your strong statements over time. Do you have a problem with the Luo community?
Far from it. I have nothing against the Luo community. My history with the people from that nation is very colorful. I am a student of political science, and the people who have made me who I am, the professors and doctors who took care of my politics at the University of Nairobi, are from the Luo nation. The late Dr. Nyangira took me through basic concept in political science. The late Dr. Katete Orwa was my mentor at the University of Nairobi. Professor Wanyande was a great lecturer. I was mentored by two great public servants, three public servants from the Luo nation. Samuel Eric Oreta was a district commissioner for Kiambu, a great man from Kedube. When I reported to Kiambu as a young district officer, 25 years, he took me through how to be a good administrator, and I'm a good administrator through the hands of Kakamega. Later on, he became provincial commissioner in Nyeri. He took me through mentorship. The late Hezekiah Oyugi, can I tell you, I trust the professionals from that community, like many of us do. All these rich people you see here in Nairobi, all these very educated people, they are doctors, are from the Luo community. Professor Ogutu is a great doctor at the Nairobi hospital, and I had challenges with my stomach for many years and had to see many doctors. If I go to Nairobi hospital and Professor Ogutu is not there, I go away unless it's an emergency, until I see him. Our architects, the people, the men who designed this house, Architect Touma, a great architect, he designed this house for me 30 years ago. And even when I have to do my interior in Nyeri, wherever I am in my family hotels, the professionals from the Luo community are great people. A structural engineer, Ogutu, he has done all my structural work. I have many artisans who work for me. You know, I have a very great respect for the Luo professionals because they are really professional and they are very proud of their work. They are people you actually cannot avoid if you are serious Kenyan. So anybody saying that I have a problem with the community, far from it. I have nothing against the community. We have had problems politically. And when people are opposing each other, when the late Raila Odinga was an opponent of Mwai Kibaki.
Kijaluo, jinsi ulivyozungumza ukiwa na wale watu kutoka maeneo ya Bomet County, labda tusikize vile ulivyozungumza kwa hiyo hadhara.
Rais alipitishwa na kura ya mlima na ya Wakalenjin. Sasa nikamuuliza rais, kama tumesahau hii Wakalenjin walikuvumilia mwaka 5, wewe umechukua kila kitu unapeleka Nyanza, kutembelea hii watu, ukija Kericho, ukija Bomet, unakuja kanisa interdenominational. Bora ukuje kufungua project Bomet, bora ukuje Kericho, bora uende Nandi.
Je, unayajutia hayo matamshi ambayo yanaonekana kuidhalilisha jamii ya Kijaluo?
Hapana, mimi sijaongea vibaya. Nimesema rais mlimpigia kura, yeye akuji hapa, anaenda Nyanza. Tungetaka aende Nyanza na pia akuje hapa. Sio ati aende Nyanza peke yake, hata mlimani siku hizi akuji, hata pahali ingine haendi. Mimi nilisema tulipigia huyu rais kura hapa Kericho. Nimemuona ameenda Nyanza the whole of Christmas. Hajakuja hapa. Sijasema asiende Nyanza, nimesema akitoka Nyanza akuja nyumbani. Kwa sababu hii Kenya ni yetu sisi zote. Huwezi kaa sehemu moja usahau wale ambaye pia walikupigia kura. So matamshi yangu nilikuwa naambia watu ya Kericho, mimi sirithiki ya kwamba rais sio ati hatembei. Kama angekuwa ofisi na hakuna pahali anatembea, ingekuwa labda ako na kazi mingi kwa ofisi na ameamua hatembei Kenya. Lakini nilisema tunamuona anatembea pande ile ya Nyanza kila wakati, na si Nyanza peke yake, kwa ni Nyanza peke yake ya Luo Nyanza.
Hii ni mojawapo tu ya kanda ambayo ilinakiliwa ukizungumza hayo matamshi. Kuna baadhi ya video ama kanda ambavyo wewe kama naibu wa rais wa kitambo ulizungumza kana kwamba unaidhalilisha hii jamii ya Wajaluo. Je, unajutia matamshi yako kama kiongozi katika hii nchi?
Mimi sijafanya matamshi yote dhidi ya jamii ya Wajaluo. Kama tulikuwa na mambo ya siasa tukipambana na marehemu Raila Odinga, hiyo ni matamshi ya kisiasa. Na siasa iko na marubano kwa sababu ni mashindano. Na lazima unasifu yule ambaye unapigia kampeni na unajaribu kuhujumu yule ambaye mnapigana na yeye. Lakini hakuna siku mimi nimetoa matamshi ya kuhujumu jamii ya Wajaluo.
Do you believe the president should only visit places where he got votes?
No, the president should visit everywhere.
Then why should it be a problem when he goes to
Nyanza? No, I'm saying he should visit everywhere.
You are very
but
specific.
He should not,
you told those people that you are the ones who voted for him, but he's taking your development
yes,
in Nyanza.
Yes,
do the Nyanza people deserve any development?
They deserve a lot of development. And the president should visit Nyanza as many times as practically possible. But also he should visit the Rift Valley where he was voted for. He should also visit the mountain where he was voted for. He cannot abandon the people who voted for him and spend all the time in one region. I was saying he must be balanced and he must serve all Kenyans equally. But he cannot pretend that he has forgotten there are certain people and he knows them because he voted for them, and he has no time for them, and he has time for others. So I was calling for balanced development.
When you're with the president, he used to travel all over the country. Why is it that when he's heading to Nyanza is when you raise those issues around him needing to travel to places
Not
where
necessarily. I just gave an example at that particular time.
Do you accept that he's been to the other parts of the country as well?
I gave that example at that particular time over Christmas period, because the Christmas period he spent all the time in Nyanza.
And now, do you believe that he's visited other parts of the country?
Well, I have seen him go to Western. Okay. I have not seen him go to the Rift Valley. I have not seen him come back to the mountain. He should visit all parts of the country. Okay. And he should visit all parts of the country and do real and tangible development, not to go to insult people. That I agree. Let him visit everywhere, including Nyanza. Let him also remember that he has his people in Rift Valley.